What I learned from Dr. Bob Rotella. You're watching the Sports Psychology Career Series. So based on a recommendation from Dr. Ken Ravizza, I went and did my PhD with Dr. Bob Rotella. And here's what I learned. Bob's approach was so different than Ken's at Cal State Fullerton. Bob was all about storytelling. Bob Rotella's approach was much different than Ken Ravizza's, but I really appreciated his straightforward approach. Quick story, before I went to UVA to work with Bob Rotella, I had my bags packed to go to the University of Connecticut. And about 2 days prior to driving to the University of Connecticut, I got a call from Bob Rotella saying, "You've been accepted into the spring program." So I reversed course and I went and worked with Bob Rotella. Unlike Ken, Bob was all about helping athletes improve confidence and trust. Those were his two big buzzwords. Bob didn't really believe in techniques, for example, or strategies. He was all about beliefs and mindsets. Bob didn't really care about the why athletes are struggling or why athletes are slumping. But he had an approach that was very directive that said, if you do this, you'll be successful. If you've read any of Rotella's books, you know that he's a huge storyteller when it comes to his coaching. For example, in golf is not a game of perfect, and golf is a game of confidence. But I would disagree with Rotella about one thing, and that is understanding the why athletes are struggling and helping athletes understand that. Because Rotella was all about, you just got to be confident and you got to trust it, and here's how. My theory is athletes have to understand themselves and why they're sabotaging themselves or why they're slumping or why they're losing confidence. I think the why is important. But what I learned from Bob Rotella is that athletes have two different mindsets. One is the training mindset, he called it, and the trusting mindset, where he's really advancing Tim Galloway's work on the inner game of tennis and the inner game of golf. So Bob was really good at understanding that athletes are in a completely different mindset when they go to competition that allows them to play intuitively, allows them to play athletically. And Tim Galloway would say the same thing. You can't be self-coaching, over-coaching, or overthinking in competition, then you're not playing intuitively or instinctively. Bob also taught me that belief systems are extremely important for athletes. Meaning if you think you're a choker, then when the opportunity presents itself, you might choke, for example. Or if you think you're a winner and the opportunity presents itself, then most likely you're going to triumph in that situation. Thus, Bob would tell his athletes, you got to be confident and you got to let go and trust it. He wouldn't give them a lot of background other than how to do those aspects. Thus, Bob was very straightforward with athletes. He said, you have to believe in what you're doing and you have to trust in what you're doing. Wouldn't give them a lot of background information, but he would tell them how to accomplish that. Thus, Bob's approach is you have to be confident in yourself and your skills, and you have to trust in it. And here's how you're going to do that. A very directive approach, but also using stories from the athletes that he's helped over the years be successful, helped him get athletes to buy into that strategy. Did you know I'm in my 17th year of certifying coaches, mental coaches, life coaches, and psychologists in my system for doing mental training? If you want more information, visit the mentalgamecoachingpro.com website to learn more about my MGCP certification program. And in addition, I've teed up some other sports psychology career videos here that you can watch and learn more about having a successful career in sports psychology. Thanks.